Okay, let's now take a different look at the xenophobic attacks that South Africa has experienced recently. This morning, we want to look at how the media, we in the media, have been covering the attacks. Yesterday, some people were outraged at the photos in the Sunday Times showing Emmanuel Sithole, the Mozambican national, being stabbed to death in Alexandra. Well, to help us do that, we're joined in the studio by Professor Harber from Wits University's Journalism Department. Prof, good morning and good to see you.
Good morning, thank you.
What's your view? Let's just start there first, because on social media and elsewhere, there's kind of a debate. Should the Sunday Times have shown the picture of the attackers and the gruesome, end to his life of Emmanuel Sithole?
Look, I think you have to differentiate between social media and traditional media like the Sunday Times. I thought the Sunday Times photographs yesterday, James Ottaway's photos, were completely extraordinary. I don't think anything has brought home the brutality, the inhumanity, the horror of this violence than that picture and the story and the account by the journalists. Journalists can be in a difficult position. It requires great courage, great presence of mind, and it appears that they also interceded to take the victim to the clinic and to the hospital, sadly not saving his life.
Yeah, in fact, he told us on eNCA yesterday the experience of when he was calling for help from the people who were watching, were obviously scared of the thugs who were committing the crime, and then rushing him to a nearby clinic, only to find that the doctor was absent because he's a foreign doctor. He was scared of coming into Alexandra yesterday, then rushed him to Edenvale. It was too late for Emmanuel. So they did their part as well to try and help save the man's life.
I think they did more than anyone else, except for one man described as the man in the leather jacket who attempted to intercede. It's absolutely imperative that South Africans step up, that South Africans who are horrified by this brutality, and I think that's by and far most South Africans, step forward. It's absolutely imperative that the media show the horror, the inhumanity of it, and the Sunday Times did brilliantly yesterday.
Yeah, I was reflecting about that yesterday, and I mean our commentator here in-house, Angelo Fick, as well, was reflecting about it, and we're thinking about the horrors of the past. And you yourself, having been in the forefront, as a journalist in the 80s, during the tough times in this country, some of those images that were in newspapers, I mean, you were with the Weekly Mail then, which became Mail and Guardian later, for instance, would not have been taken. The world would not have known the horrors of what we're going through. I mean, xenophobia is a crime, literally, against humanity as well, because we are turning on one another. We need to show that.
Exactly. And what we've learned time and time again is that when the media is there, when the media is showing the world, then you're much more likely to get action, to stop it, to get the authorities to act. It's when the media isn't there and isn't showing these images or hiding these images that the danger is made worse.
Well, the police responded positively yesterday. They thanked the photographer from the Sunday Times, John Ottaway. They thanked the media, and they said they're going to use the pictures to catch. And now we're reporting this morning that 3 of the 4 suspects are now behind bars, thanks to the photographer.
Yes, I think they've played an incredibly important role.
Now,
but social media is different.
Yeah, social media is different. What's your view on that?
Well, first of all, we have to understand social media. In these kinds of events, the role of rumor and gossip has always been dangerous, and can often be negative and can spread fear and can spread the hatred and can be used irresponsibly. And the problem with social media is it amplifies gossip and rumor to a much, much greater extent. And so it allows people who want to promote the violence and the hatred and the killings. It gives them a voice too, because social media, by and large, you don't have gatekeepers. You don't have editors saying, hold on, we can't do that, or we can't say that, or be careful the way you put it. Journalists are trained to choose their words carefully. So journalists are spending a lot of time saying, should we call this xenophobia? Should we call it Afrophobia? Should we show all the horror? Should we hold back? Social media is a free-for-all. And in many ways, that has positive elements, because it gives everyone a voice, and we hear what South Africans are saying and thinking. But it's also potentially dangerous. And
you find some people who are really cowards going on social media and expressing these views that are so, unbelievable, and sometimes they spew vitriol and venom on social media, and we get caught in that. So we need to be very careful how we manage ourselves in social media as citizens, but also as journalists.
Look, I've no doubt that if you threaten violence, if you use hate speech on social media, the authorities should come after you and track you down and prosecute you for that. I've no question anyone, whether they're the most powerful figures in the country, or just some ordinary person who's tweeting foolishly, if you're provoking violence, if you're spreading hate speech, you should be hunted down and you should be prosecuted.
Thank you very much. That's Professor Anton Harber from Wits University's Journalism Department.